The date is April 9, 2018. A Piper PA-24 Comanche, identified by tail number November 9456 Papa, is navigating the skies from North Las Vegas Airport to Scottsdale Airport in Arizona. Having taken off from North Las Vegas Airport at 1842 Mountain Standard Time, the pilot is on his way to pick up a student pilot and 4 additional passengers from Scottsdale Airport before an intended return flight to North Las Vegas Airport the same evening. The pilot is 26-year-old Eric Valente. He holds an airline transport pilot certificate, accredited with ratings for airplane single-engine land and multi-engine land categories. In addition, he also holds a flight instructor certificate. During his most recent medical application, he disclosed a total of 5,200 flight hours, with 500 of those hours accumulated in the preceding 6 months. Just a few days prior, the student pilot's flight instructor had opted out of performing the flight, prompting the need for Eric Valente, who has never flown this particular airplane before, to step in. The student pilot, 28-year-old traveler and entrepreneur is James Pedroza. He owns a share in Double G Holdings, which is a partner in the company that owns the airplane. After covering a distance of approximately 220 nautical miles, the airplane touches down at Scottsdale Airport at 2018 Mountain Standard Time. After parking the airplane on the ramp, James along with the 4 passengers started boarding and settling into the aircraft. The 4 passengers were 23-year-old Maria Coogan, a model and part-time horse trainer; 26-year-old Anand Patel, a nightclub and festival entrepreneur; 22-year-old model Helena Lagos, and 23-year-old student Iris Rodriguez. The group, seemingly in a light-hearted spirit, deliberates on optimal seating arrangements, pausing occasionally to capture photographs of the moment. James took a position in the front left seat, while Eric settled into the front right seat. This video footage captured their last moments before the flight. Following the completion of the boarding process, attempts were made to start the airplane's engine. The task proved to be somewhat challenging, necessitating multiple attempts before the engine finally starts. Despite the initial struggle, the airplane commenced its taxi, the passengers in the rear visibly absorbed in their phones.
Comanche 9456 Papa Scottsdale Tower, runway 3, taxi via Alpha.
3, via taxi Alpha.
The airplane proceeded to taxi toward the approach end of runway 03. Near the fixed base operator at the airport, an observer's attention was captured by the rising tone of the airplane's engine. As the aircraft accelerated down the runway, both the observer and the tower controller noticed something unusual. The airplane's nose began to pitch dramatically, almost as if the pilot was engaging in a daring display. This observation was further accentuated when the airplane's wing lights flickered in a way that suggested the wings were rocking. By the time the airplane was parallel with the tower, the rocking ceased. But another issue became evident. The engine's tone indicated it might not be generating full power. The tower controller, sensing potential trouble, radioed the pilot, inquiring about any possible issues.
Comanche 56 Papa, experiencing any difficulty?
We're good. We're just training. Papa.
The pilot's reply was nonchalant. "We're good, just a training lesson." Despite this reassurance, the airplane's trajectory remained worryingly horizontal, showing no signs of ascent. Another airport worker, positioned at the departure end of runway 03, watched the airplane approaching him. He noted its drift towards the west side of the runway safety area, all while maintaining a surprisingly low altitude. Before even reaching the runway's end, the airplane began an early left crosswind turn. As it continued, the turn grew sharper, with the airplane descending rapidly, its wings nearing a vertical angle.
And and 56 Papa, we'd like to.
H 56 Papa, say again.
The airplane struck the ground, crashing into the TPC Scottsdale Champions Golf Course approximately a quarter-mile northwest of the end of runway 03, at an elevation of 1,484 feet, and immediately erupted into flames upon impact. Upon the arrival of emergency services, the heartbreaking reality became evident. All 6 individuals on board had tragically lost their lives in the catastrophic crash.
ABC 15. And we start with that breaking news, a fiery plane crash right on the course of the TPC Scottsdale. A lot of questions tonight about what led up to this.
We do have a team on the ground right now as well. Let's get live to ABC 15's Jason.
Story, there is new information on a plane crash in Scottsdale that killed 6 people last night. The plane crashing into the TPC Champions Golf Course that's next to the one where the popular Phoenix Open takes place. ABC 15's Mike Pelton joining us live near.
The NTSB promptly conducted a news conference, reaffirming their dedication to uncovering the reasons behind this heart-wrenching tragedy.
We're also going to be getting witness statements. We're in the process of gathering video from the airport, audio from the tower controllers, and then we'll most likely be talking to the tower controllers at some point, asking them what these.
After months of intensive investigation, a dedicated team thoroughly examined and analyzed all available evidence. Their unwavering commitment culminated in the release of a comprehensive aviation investigation final report on April 8, 2020. The investigation highlighted several critical factors that were closely tied to the cause of the accident. Among the primary concerns was the aircraft's weight during its takeoff from Scottsdale Airport on the day of the tragedy. Subsequent calculations unveiled the following details. The pilot and student pilot weighed a total of 375 pounds. The 2 middle row passengers weighed 320 pounds, and the 2 aft row passengers weighed 252 pounds. Each person had an estimated 15 pounds of carry-on baggage. The plane had an estimated fuel load of 63.44 gallons for the flight. At takeoff, the airplane's weight was approximately 3,335 pounds, which was 135 pounds over its maximum weight, and 2.22 inches aft of the center of gravity. Interestingly, an investigator spoke with Mr. Gust, an individual who sold his shares to James Pedrosa, shares that pertained to the ownership of the airplane. Mr. Gust knew about James's intention to fly friends from Scottsdale to Las Vegas. Concerned about the airplane's weight, he shared his apprehensions with James prior to the flight. Mr. Gust was also a friend of the pilot, Eric Valente. After hearing Eric's response to the ATC about it being a training lesson, Mr. Gust felt that Eric might have been somewhat rattled by the situation. He speculated that Eric's response could have been a result of nervousness and uncertainty about what to convey. Another significant finding revealed that the number 3-cylinder outer intake valve spring was broken. The number 3 cylinder was carefully removed and inspected. The valve spring in question had fragmented into 4 sections, each displaying a polished and pitted texture. Using a scanning electron microscope, it was determined that 2 of the fractures began at pits located on the inner diameter of the spring's helix. These fractures expanded due to fatigue, covering about 40% to 50% of the diameter before a final break caused by overstress. The origin of the 3rd fracture remained undetermined due to mechanical damage obscuring its surface. This damaged valve spring would have compromised the engine's efficiency. Finally, the probable cause of the accident was determined to be as follows. The accident was primarily caused by the flight instructor's inability to maintain control of the airplane during its initial ascent, due to the aircraft being overloaded beyond its maximum weight and its center of gravity limits being exceeded. A contributing factor was the reduced engine power, stemming from a pre-existing failure of an engine cylinder intake valve spring, which further diminished the airplane's ability to climb. This devastating accident serves as a stark reminder of the critical importance of adhering to aircraft weight and balance guidelines and the imperative of consistent maintenance checks. May I extend my heartfelt sympathies to the families, friends, and loved ones affected by this tragic event. And may the memories of these 6 young individuals forever resonate in the hearts and memories of those who cherished them.